I wanted to turn a horror film into a cute kids TV show, but I can't handle horror, so Wednesday's the closest we're gonna get. Hey, it's Isu. If you haven't seen it, Wednesday is a TV show on Netflix about the notorious character Wednesday Addams from the 1944 TV show, reimagined by Tim Burton. I really love the show considering how much I can't handle horror. I will say it still gave me nightmares, but don't judge me, alright? Like I said, we're turning this into a kids cartoon. This will be a bit of a challenge because some of the darker aesthetics of the show, but I feel like it's not going to be as hard as you think. There's things like Monster High that don't push the horror too much, and then there's stuff like Coraline that is absolutely horrifying that I have yet to watch, so we have a lot of room to push things, you know what I'm saying? What you're looking at right now is some fan art I actually did for Wednesday a pretty long time ago when I first watched the show, but I thought it would be interesting to show you first because it's a cartoony version of what the actual actors look like, so I think it was important to go from this, and then we're going to turn it into a really cartoony look. And if you're wondering what I'm drawing, you know those beach episodes in like every single anime? I was trying to think about what would a beach episode look like in Wednesday, and I was thinking everyone else would be having fun at the pool and Wednesday would be the only one like off to the side. Her only happiness is coming from violently cutting up the cucumbers, and the rest of them are just having a spa day, you know, Enid and Thing, so there you go. Speaking of turning it into more cartoony, that's what we're doing right now. I really like how short I made Wednesday because I think it makes the character lineup more interesting. I think in the show she is shorter than Enid, so it's kind of accurate, but I made it more exaggerated. I think this is really common with cartoons to like exaggerate everything. I also try to make Enid's like bright bubbly personality like even more so visible on her character. Later I actually like add her werewolf claws, so I think she would have them out a lot more often in a cartoon just because it's really fun and cute. I was really torn with who to do for this third character lineup because there's a lot of main characters, and whenever you look up the main cast it's always Enid, Tyler, you know, Wednesday, and then I forgot the other two's name, I'm so sorry. I don't want to get into spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, skip to this timestamp so that way you don't have to deal with that. Cool, okay. So I thought Tyler was the most interesting character to do because there's a lot of transformation scenes in cartoons, so I figured him turning into like the monster, you would obviously have to tone it down like a lot for a show. I don't know if you can see in the drawing, I'm trying to almost make him look a little more creepy, like, you know, like staring at you with those big eyes, you know what I mean? So that's where that idea is coming from. Oh, I also love the idea of Wednesday like walking around with like a cloud over her head all of the time, and like when she gets even more angry, like a lightning bolt will strike and it'll just like show her emotion. It won't be there all the time, but I like that idea. I think it's fun. And then like Enid would have like, you know, sunshines coming up over her head and rainbows, and I look kind of like a creep when I'm drawing her skirt. I am so sorry. Pretty much, I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to give her like a short anime skirt or like the long one they have in the show. I decided on a short one because I figure that Wednesday's always gonna have a long skirt on. I don't think you're ever gonna see Wednesday in a short skirt. So it's more interesting for the lineup if I give Enid like a shorter skirt, like anime style. Like, oh, so cute. You know, just make it into a Powerpuff-y kind of cartoon. In general, I feel like that Wednesday would be around the same as she is in the show. So she's still gonna be really sarcastic. I feel like in the show, she's already a very, like, stark character. She's already a caricature, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have a big emotional range, which is very common with cartoons. But I feel like all the other characters would kind of get that same wash. All the characters, if they're happy, they're going to be really happy. If they're really trusting, they're going to be really trusting, you know? Or if they're evil, like the Siren Girl, they're going to be really evil. It is what they did in the show, but I feel like it would just be emphasized even more. Moving on, I wanted to redraw some of the screenshots from Wednesday, just so I can talk about how the general show, I think, would change. I wanted to draw her. She's kind of threatening Thing with like scissors. I figured scissors are less intimidating. I think she threatened Thing with like a knife in the show, so scissors make more sense for a kid-ish cartoon. Again, this is kind of waving on the line of a kid's cartoon. Maybe a teen show is more where this is going, but, you know. I feel like I have so much liberty specifically just because of Caroline. Like, you can go really far with cartoons, and I don't think anyone cares. I guess. I don't know. I was never a horror kid growing up. I'm so out of my element right now. I actually drew her in their dorm room because I thought it would be really fun to draw the background. I'm realizing now I didn't really feature a lot of it, but you can see the kind of stained glass in the back and all that stuff. And I also added like a really like definite piece of duct tape that's I think they separated off with duct tape in their room too, but I made it like really pronounced and stuff. And again, if you somehow haven't seen the show, looking at these two characters, you can probably put together why they'd want to duct tape the room across from each other. They really don't get along in the beginning because they're kind of polar opposites, so I think the Halloween aspect would definitely be brought up even more. I feel like I didn't really emphasize that too much in my drawings. I really should have, but it's okay. The next drawing we have is Wednesday fixing the coffee machine at the cafe where Tyler works. I just wanted to show like the kind of character dynamics. So like she's really serious. Oh, I love the idea that, you know how in the Wednesday show she never blinks? I think that'd be awesome to add to a cartoon. Like it would be so unsettling. I don't really know if cartoons blink that often, but if they were going to animate it, they should add blinks to everyone except for her. So that way she looks, you know, just like a little possessed child, you know what I'm saying? But I think that would be really cool. I wanted to make her even more of a caricature than she is even in this show. I'm realizing now maybe I should have drawn these in like a Tim Burton art style, like that would have been really fun. I didn't do that. Oops. Maybe when Halloween actually rolls around and I get good at theming YouTube videos, then maybe I can actually make it a Tim Burton cartoon and redraw it that way. Let me know what you think about that. I kind of wish I was able to draw more of the characters, but I mean, I'm really happy with these. I think they're cute. I can see it in a cartoon. I know in cartoons usually there's not as much line variation, so I don't know how that would really work. I'm not sure if this is old news by now or what. Wednesday came out a while ago. I'm gonna say the theming is still on because apparently the new season is coming out sometime in 2025, whatever that means. I really like how these characters are turning out. They kind of look a little bit like babies, but it's okay, it's fine. I have this picture in my head. Honestly, it's not that different than the actual show, but just her fixing the machine and like not blinking, and then Tyler is just like, so, can you tell it's been a while since I've watched the show? I also like the idea that everyone else would be animated somewhat smoothly, like a normal cartoon, but like Wednesday will kind of like jump between poses just to make her look a little more like she's a ghost and she's like not really there or something like that. I think that'd be really fun. Hopefully this little character lineup thing gives you an idea of what I would imagine the show as a cartoon. If you're dying for more Isu content, I made a video where I turned random apps into cute character designs, and I really like how those turned out, so go watch that next. As I was talking, all I could think in the back of my head was, oh my god, Wednesday, if she was real, she would think I was the most annoying brat ever, just being like, oh my god, so like this is what I think, this is how I would do the show, and oh my god. I actually think none of us are cool enough for Wednesday, but you know.